This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
So, show 252 Aussie Mac Zone. This week's sponsors, athwebhosting.com.au, aussietechradio.com. And we're lucky enough to have Zarn controlling the screen and the switches and the other crap. How are you, son?
Always well, Michael. How are you?
Good, good.
G'day, Garth. How are you, mate?
Zarn, Michael, how's it going, fellas? And watchers, listeners, watchers. That just doesn't sound
Watches.
right.
What series watch are they?
I used to say listeners, but I'm thinking.
What series watch are we?
Maybe I should say watchers.
What series is our audience?
Well, that one back there's looking pretty good. So
Yeah.
Series 17 there.
So our Aussie Apple ramblings this week start off as we are getting close to September we'll say the 12th. That's what most people are hoping for. Also known as iPhone month, the rumours are getting louder. A developer found iPhone XX in some new iOS code with specs similar to the iPhone 7. So most have agreed this is a new iPhone SE 2. John Gruber at Daring Fireball wrote a piece about an upgraded MacBook/MacBook Air with Retina display and same ports or less ports or different ports for possible release in September as well. There's also rumours of a Mac Mini refresh. So what do you think, gentlemen? Garth, what do you reckon to start with there?
Oh, it could be a very, very expensive.
Okay. Couple of weeks, yes.
Oh, crikey! There's so many good rumors. If half of them come true, I'll be stoked.
Yeah.
I'm due a new watch, so that's on cards. I'm due a new phone. I'm still running a 6S. I held off.
Yeah.
So did I, and
Not
I'm
due a new
waiting.
Mac until not due a new Mac until next year. But if they bring out something new now, I'd love a new Mac Mini.
Yeah.
And I'd also like a new MacBook Air. And clearly, I can't have both. So, but I'm saying, this could be a very expensive little couple of weeks.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
We'll see. What do you reckon, Zarn?
Well, I really want to watch, so I haven't got one, and I need a new phone. So, I don't need a new phone. I shouldn't say that. I want a new phone, and I've done the same as you. I'm waiting until they release all their new product in September. So hopefully when they release all the new product, there's going to be maybe, like you said, like an SE2 or something like that I can, maybe move up to or sideways to or something like that, and a watch.
So
yeah, I was hopeful that the SE... the new version of the SE. They're not talking about possibly 4 different phones, but let's say it sticks with the 3. And when we're looking at the 3, it's really sort of assuming that the cheapest model, they'd all have the same innards, right? They'd all be the iPhone, the A, whatever they were up to. A12 is it now, Michael? Or the A12X or something, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the current price the new is. They all have it. But, it look like there might be a cheaper model with the iPhone 7 innards. So I'm hoping that's not the lowest level of the 3, because we're looking at an LCD for the cheap one with an aluminium band, plus then 2 different sizes of the new X, basically the stainless steel OLED displays.
Yeah.
And I don't care about that stuff. If I can get the newest gizzards in a cheap shell, I'll be happy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. No, because, there's only a certain size phone you can fit in your hand anyway. So,
that's right. Yeah.
I've got big hands.
No, but I'm
and a big heart.
That's right. Big heart. Shoes.
Do you guys
big
always
shoes.
use your phone one-handed?
No.
Yeah. See, I have guide dog in one hand, phone in the other.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. So I see what you're saying. So do you have you just have the 6S, you don't
6S.
have the 6X Plus?
No, I don't want one of those big ass
Yeah,
phones.
because they're too big. Clearly too
Because you
big.
really would just about have to use two hands, right?
Yeah,
Very
well,
hard
because
to-
I've got the Plus. I've got the exact same phone as you, it's just the Plus.
Yep.
And yeah, it's most of the time I can send a message one-handed. There's no hassles. But most of the time, what I'm doing with, if I'm doing something, I just use two hands. I hold it one hand.
You're not
dab, dab, dab.
comfortable doing it with one hand, right? It's
I can do
That's
it.
right.
do it.
Yeah,
prefer
it's easier
not
to do it with two, but you can do it with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So my 2 cents worth is we have not had any production leaks of new Macs or Apple Watches or whatever other than the 3 models of the iPhone. They're the really only real production leaks we've had so far. So we may have some announcements in September, but no product. They'll say, "Oh, we're going to make them in November," or they'll be ready in November, or whatever. The only other thing, we had a new case for an iPad Pro as well. Just I think yesterday or the day before come out as well. But
I think that's a really good point, Michael, that you're making there, because you're right. There hasn't been much in the way of watches or Macs. Macs, I'm not surprised about. They don't need as big a inventory as they do with the phones. And also, they do have some manufacturing within the US, in which case they probably have better
security
control.
Yeah.
Watches, though, once again, probably not as big an inventory required.
Yeah.
But you would think that we would have
had some leaks.
In past years, have we seen anything? Then again, in past years, it's been pretty much the same case anyway. So
yeah. So anyway, that's just we haven't seen any leaks except for some cases. So I'm just interested.
I think it's really interesting that we've had no leaks. Yeah, that means they're keeping whatever they're doing is hush hush, and it's gonna be big. I reckon it's gonna be big.
Yeah,
it will be a big event, I think, this one.
Yeah. And maybe that's part of that, all of that security crackdown that they've had over the last sort of 18 months as well.
Yeah, because they're going to release something big. It might be a whole new design. We don't know because there's been no leaks. So
okay, no, hang on. Just pull it back a bit there. Because sorry.
All right, I'm just
the fact there's been no leaks, right, on hardware for what Michael's mentioned. There has been hardware leaks around the new phones.
Yeah.
Yes, around the phones. Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of those suckers being manufactured right now. We all know that.
Yeah.
And they will leak.
Yeah. So we've got some. Sorry.
The limited leaks. All that indicates to me is they don't want anyone to know. That might be because it's really quite boring. Just like get your hopes up.
I'm a glass, half full type of guy.
You're a glass 3/4 full kind of guy. I tend to be on the same on the same, glass. Oh, actually, this one's totally empty. But apart from that,
that's lack of preparation on our part.
Yes. So we've got some new listeners here. G'day, Nav. G'day, Giggles. We're coming in. It's on here. Michael Fester, how you doing, mate? And also we've got some old listeners that have said hello, Daddy, and hello, IPA. So hi, Mason, and hi, Hunter.
That's right. So hello everybody. Welcome to our new listeners, and thank you. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of more to mention later on in the show that we bumped into. So now,
I just want to say Persia also, sorry, Michael. Persia also said thank you from the 250th show. She won a iTunes card.
Yeah.
And she got it. Oh, it's almost there. The courier slack.
It's in the mail, Persia.
She sent a photo of it.
Congratulations.
But she said thank you to Aussie Mac Zone and IT Help to you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having a challenging question for us. It was great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right, back to you. Sorry.
now our continuing story about Federation Square in Melbourne, that gets a temporary heritage protection from the Apple Store. So Federation Square has been granted heritage protection until late 2018 as a government body deliberates on whether to permanently protect the site, a decision that could prevent an Apple Store being added to the precinct. Now, the order comes after the National Trust of Australia's Victorian branch nominated Federation Square for heritage protection in early August, following the government's plan to build an Apple Store on the site, which we were notified of in December 2017. Under the Heritage Victoria order handed down last Wednesday, no work can begin in most parts of Federation Square until December 2018, without the express permission of Heritage Victoria. This also includes work for their Metro Tunnel Rail project. But what I find amazing is either they realise how long it takes for governments to do things, because it's the Heritage Victoria looking after it, because Federation Square is only 16 years old. So, like, it's not even a heritage site. You know what I mean? Like, it's only 16 years old. So
In its current state.
Yeah, in its current
Yeah.
state.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot older than that, but in its current state, it's 16
In
years
its
old.
current state, it's all new.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can they
It's just-
heritage protect it from the current government down there?
I don't know.
I wish we could heritage protect most things from the current government at the moment. But
Of
anyway, Yeah.
Like they say, doesn't matter who you vote for, a politician still gets in.
That's right. So I don't have a problem with this. I think Victorian government's trying to do what they need to do or something like that. If Apple can't build their flagship store for Australia in Melbourne, I know Sydney's happy to have it.
Yep.
So they can bring it up here. We can put it in the smack bang middle of Martin Place, and
Not a problem.
the one up the road will get just as much business anyway. So bring it on.
Extremely unlikely, but if Sydney doesn't want it, I'm sure Brisbane would be happy to have it.
That's it. We can put it on the Gold Coast. Look at all the production that's going up
why
there.
not?
Yeah, you got
Why
the
not?
tram system and everything like that up there. The light
Exactly.
rail. Well, we got the
We
light
got it all
rail
sorted
going
out
on.
for the Com Games, and no one came there, so we'll.
That's it.
So, now here's an interesting one. These are the top reasons users switch from Android to iOS, according to a new survey. So this was 2,500 US consumers. Some 29% had switched mobile operating systems. 11% of those switches went from iOS to Android, while another 18% went from Android to iOS. Now, the primary driver behind those switches, according to the survey, price. So I don't know how that works, but you don't know whether they're going, like, Android's such a big choice. It doesn't say Samsung to iOS, it says Android to iOS, So now the majority of smartphone users who have switched mobile OSs, 29% of the people who switched from iOS to Android said they did so due to better pricing.
Yep.
While 11% said they switched from Android to iOS for the same reason, which maybe they felt it was better value than better pricing.
Fair enough.
6% of users switched from iOS to Android said they did so because of more apps being available on Android, compared to 4% who switched to iOS for apps. Maybe they just wanted more secure apps or something.
Yep.
Now, the only other area where Android captured a lead was in customer service. 6% of switchers from iOS to Android said they did so because of better customer service, compared to 3% the other way around. That dumbfounds me, because
that one really is bizarre.
Yeah, because Apple always gets great results for their customer service, and Androids, unless it's a Google phone, Androids don't get updated. So how can there be any customer service?
Yeah.
That just.
So I think I think what they're talking about with customer service is if you're going into Apple Store, maybe they don't like the weight, they don't like, whatever it is, but you can literally take your cheap Android phone to any mid-mall repairer and get customer service there. So maybe that's what they mean.
Maybe. It's as good a theory as any I've heard. That's because I can't imagine what that possibly is. Like,
Yeah.
That, and maybe you're right, Zarn. That might actually be it.
Yeah. That's all I could. When I read that, all I could think of was that you can literally take your $39 Android phone to any mid-mall repairer that's got a screwdriver and a table.
Well, just on that same subject, there's a company in America called Simply Mac, and they're an authorised reseller and service centre in America. They've got about 65 stores, of which something like 10 are authorised iPhone repairers.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got all the equipment, because you've got to have all this massive equipment and stuff these days to be an authorised iPhone repairer.
Yep.
And the others, because they weren't, quote, authorised iPhone repairers, they were offering customers non-Apple repairs, shall we say. Yep. Even though they're like in Australia, our contract doesn't permit that. If you're an authorised service centre, you're either got to do the whole deal or nothing,
Yep.
But anyway, they got around this. And Apple has basically said, right, so for all your stores now, we'll supply all your equipment and you can do authorised repairs and not do any like these third-party screen replacements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's big for the company, it's big for customers because they're in smaller towns compared to, San Francisco or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Just on that same subject about, the mall repairer.
Yeah, the smaller repairer.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know why Apple make it so hard to become, that iPhone repairer for a small company. I understand, in a city like where we live, Michael, that we have an Apple store, but before that we just had a little repairer who had his own store.
Yeah.
Only a few hundred meters away from the Apple store, and and they've made it harder.
Very close to me. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So I know, but and they're not. We've got 6 stores in Sydney now. That's a lot of people for 6 stores, and if you take it to your telco. That's a minimum 14-day turnaround. Minimum.
Yep, that's right.
So it makes it hard, but definitely better quality. I firmly believe. So anyway, a reminder. You ready?
Yep.
This week we are brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au, the famous ATH web hosting. Now, don't forget. Friendly help when needed, 24/7 ticket support, $5.95 per month when paid annually. Using the C panel, the industry standard feature-rich control panel, you get 250 scripts installed with one click, including WordPress if you like a WordPress site, accepting PayPal as well as other cards. It's got instant activation, auto setup 24/7, free setup, domain registrations available, and 99.95% uptime. And we all know Glenn's a nice guy, so yeah.
Absolutely.
And what was the other? SitePad. Go and have a look at SitePad, and you'll get to see the new system that you've got for creating magical web pages at athwebhosting.com.au. Now, I've got a special hello to Alex and Ahmed. They're 2 new Aussie Mac Zone subscribers that I'm aware of. So, yeah, they've both subscribed in the last couple of weeks. So, welcome aboard, gentlemen.
Hello.
The more the merrier. Tell your friends.
That's right.
Tell your enemies.
We've got some a few more new listeners, watchers.
Watchers, listeners, whatever.
We've lost Garth at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, there he is. He's back.
He scared us, that's all.
The NBN on the Gold Coast is just amazing, really.
He's not very good. I still haven't got him back yet.
He's almost here. He's not quite back. You there, Garth?
He's gone away and
He'll
come back
in a minute. So we've got some new watchers / listeners.
Yeah.
Again, so hello Patricia, hello Andrew, and hello Damien.
Welcome.
Yes,
Thank you for dropping in.
Dropping in and just watching. If you've got any questions,
ask away, please.
Ask away.
Now, Office 365 for Mac will require Mac OS Sierra or higher starting next month. So Microsoft shared an Office 2019 for Mac preview last month. Now the company has announced that all the updates that come with the new software will be heading to Office 365 subscribers as long as they're running OS Sierra or later. So that's only 2 years ago, basically. That's when Sierra came out. So just be aware of that. If you're trying to get those extra Office 2019 features, you've got to be running at least Mac OS Sierra. So that's detailed in a blog post. Microsoft said that to receive the latest features that come along with Office 2019 for Mac, users will need to be on 10.12. Welcome back, Garth.
Hello, Garth. Can you hear us, mate?
We all know how much calls, but really, guys, it is to move on.
Apple rolls out Apple Store search ads to new countries across North America, Europe, and Asia. Now, last month, Apple announced that it was continuing its expansion of App Store search ads around the world, and the platform has gone live in 12 additional countries in North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Now, they said that it would expand its search ads basic platform to additional countries on August 22. Search ads Basic is the counterpart to Search Ads Advanced and is a far simpler way for developers to launch App Store ad campaigns. Search Ads Basic was initially limited to the United States, but now it's got 13 new countries that support the ads, which are France, Germany, Italy, Japan, South Korea, Spain, United States, Canada, Mexico, New Zealand, Switzerland, the UK, and the famous Australia, mate. Australia.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I hope the smaller developers making the most of the new way that they can advertise get more attention for themselves. It's good.
G'day, Lucy. Hi, JJ. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah. Got them all coming tonight. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Now, Apple Store robbers tackled by Good Samaritans. 2 of 3 thieves at an Apple Store in America were detained by shoppers, and the third was detained by store security and police. Also arrested 2 women in the getaway car in the car park. Yeah, thank you from all of us for stopping those little tosses.
Absolutely.
Now this
is
follows
a very Australian way of telling the story.
This follows some other robberies in California this month. Now, I'm talking a group of thieves just walking in, taking all the display gear at an Apple Store, portables, iPhones, watches, whatever they could carry. Not sneaking in at night. No, they just come random times during the day. It happened in 4 stores. But people would just walk in the door, boom.
Can they not just shut the stuff down?
Here and walk out.
With phones and things with the phones and watches and stuff like that, I don't get it because surely they're pretty well locked down.
Straight up, you just be able to lock it straight down.
It's just that, the parts maybe, but I guess with a Mac, with the Macs they have on display, there you could probably get in and, you've got yourself a nice Mac.
Maybe,
But
but
the
if they're locked
iPhones-
down as well, though, like... It's
No.
not
That's what
like-
I'm wondering.
No,
I don't think
Macs
they
aren't
could-
locked down
No?
yet.
No, they could get
Not
into
yet.
that.
Okay.
Well, what
But-
about the ones with the W2 chip?
Hmm.
Yeah, but no, I don't think so.
No, okay.
No, I don't
Just the
think so.
contents, though.
Yeah.
You could still reset it.
Yeah, it's all encrypted, but
The
you can
Apple
still just
Pencil,
wipe it
I
out.
wonder how many of those Apple Pencils go missing. Because those fellas, you don't need any, you just...
But yeah, it's, they just walk in, take whatever they can get and walk out again. And like we're talking, there was once some video footage where two guys walked out of the store. Even the security guards at the door opened the door for the guy. Walked out.
Oh, no.
He walked out like 5 feet, must have given the nod, and then 6 or 8 of them all walked in with their hoodies and everything on, grabbed all the gear and went out again.
Wow.
And we're talking like, you're in there for 2 minutes. You can get a lot of stuff in 2 minutes if you're aimed at, all right, that's your table,
that's right.
whatever you can get. So, yeah.
Yes.
And it's no good for the staff either. So
That's terrible. Like, what are you meant to do in a situation like that when you start? I've worked
you
retail before.
don't do anything.
Press the
but it-
appropriate button that calls somebody.
Yeah, press the appropriate button.
Absolutely, especially in the States,
Yeah.
Here it might be a bit different, but in the States, people are allowed to carry guns. You don't stop anybody if they're trying to rob you.
But yeah, so but the Good Samaritans jumped on those baddies in one store that they basically just had enough of what was going on and
Fair enough.
bang. The numbers are there. Now, you ready, Zarn?
I am.
This week, we are also brought to you by Aussie Tech Radio at www.aussietechradio.com. Now, we've got, these are a stream of Australian podcasts. There's My Tech Opinion. There's Aussie Tech Crypto, one of our sister casts, and the famous award-winning Aussie Tech Heads podcast, and other podcasts from around Australia. So, yeah, please go and have a listen to Aussie Tech Radio at aussietechradio.com. Now, also, I saw a thing today come through. We've only just had our 2018 Australian Podcast Award, but the Zoom microphone people for devices, they're sponsoring some prizes at next year's Australian Podcast Award, and that's for... what were they? It's one group. Sorry. Now I'm an idiot because I've forgotten the specific group that they were. I'll just see if I can.
Craft, maybe, or hang on, let me have a look.
It was. Sorry, I'll just look it up. It was to do with like storytelling type podcasts. Zoom sponsors. That's it. Documentary category for 2019 Oz Pod Awards. So thank you, Zoom, for doing that.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
Hi, Tim. How you doing, mate? Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah. Now, also, a couple of things are happening on. There's a show, a podcast called at twit.tv. We're not Leo Laporte's Mac Break Weekly, etc. Now, he does a show called Triangulation, which is where they interview people. And so he's just done 2 episodes with Sal Segoyan, who's the guy that does Automator on the Mac, and is just like been doing Automator stuff on the Mac for years. He's now doing Automator work with
The Omni Group.
Thank you very much. Yeah. They've just done 2 episodes with Sal. They've just done another one with Bill Atkinson from the Macintosh history part of things. That's episode 361. That was on August 20. That's on August 24. Now we've also got the one after that will be with a guy called Ken Kasinda. Now he's one of the early Apple engineers. He basically wrote helped write WebKit and Safari, and then went on to write things for like the iOS operating system in the first place. Like, he was around for a long time, and he's just released a book which is coming out on September 4. That's called Creative Selection. It's available on Audible. We're not getting paid for the ad. I'm just telling people because you can pre-order it now. So, yeah.
If Audible would like to pay us, we're also happy with that.
Yes. So, yeah, that's just a couple of things on triangulation coming up and been on and coming up in the next couple of weeks. If you want to listen to a bit of Mac history and like really getting into it,
I don't watch the triangulation or listen to it very often, but I did bookmark those ones with Sal, and I have to get to those. Yeah.
And he's actually, even though there was this big thing about him leaving Apple and blah blah blah, he was on Mac Power Users or something a couple of weeks ago, and he's actually still working for Apple. He's still a contractor for Apple. So
right,
yeah. So.
Well, can't wait to see what happens with Siri shortcuts when we get the full release of iOS 12. And I'm hoping that, look, that shortcuts app is still not in the beta as far as I can say, even though I requested it through the developer program and still haven't seen it. So I'm just hoping that it's not going to be one of these apps that goes, yeah, that one's coming soon.
No.
Just hold tight, guys.
Well, because Workflow's still working, so I don't think there's... Not that it does add a little bit more to it.
I went to re-download it though because it wasn't on my phone.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't let me.
Oh,
so I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to try again.
And another part for that was that you just reminded me. That's right. Any developers that are listening, please add whatever instructions you can to make Siri and Siri shortcuts work in your app.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Donate those user activities, please.
Yes. Absolutely. Now,
intelligently.
Now, this week, in the past week anyway, I got to transfer a PC user to a Mac. Now, I've very carefully followed the instruction on the Apple website to transfer the user's data from the PC. Now, Apple highlights twice in the instructions, once you're logged into the user account that you migrated, be sure to authorize your Mac in iTunes. It's important to authorize before you sync or play content that you download from the iTunes store. Now, I'm just highlighting that because they do it at the beginning and at the end. So, Now, Migration Assistant transfers only the mail or contacts data that belongs to the logged in Windows user. To transfer data from another user account, you have to use Migration Assistant again while you're logged into Windows in that person's account. So if you've got a couple of different accounts on the Windows machine, you have to log into each person.
Yeah.
And then each time you migrate, your Mac creates a new user account. And then you just, when you go to log in, it says, please give me a password for this account. And lots of stuff is brought over and set up for you. Now, admittedly, it'll put the information into Apple Mail, for example, and then you've got to go in and set up Outlook if that's what the person wants to use. But yeah, brings over the photos, brings over your music, brings over the mail, brings over your contacts, puts the contacts into Apple Contacts. Again, if you can then put it into Outlook if that's what you want to do. But yeah, it does work, and mine worked first time. And it's worked from Windows 96 upwards. There's two versions of Migration Assistant for Windows, depending on which version of Windows you've got. But it did work, and they do have.
Or...
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'm thinking that really rare Windows 96 that hardly anyone uses anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, they're there.
I've actually, you know what? I've seen Migration Assistant there, and I've not used it. I've not sort of needed to.
Yeah.
But I always sort of assumed it was from one Mac to another. I hadn't actually realised that it was from PC to Mac.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the list from a PC, and you go, oh, what?
crikey! Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing, I got caught out myself the other day. I plugged in my phone to a Mac to charge it, and got a, please unlock your iPhone to use this accessory. I went, what the heck? But then I remembered that now there is a timeout limit on the Lightning port connector. So, which if you only use it as a plug it into a charger all the time, like in your car, next to my bed, I've got a charger, no problem. But when you plug it into a computer, because it's been more than 5 minutes, it says, please unlock your phone to use this accessory. So just be aware.
Is it down to? I thought it was 1 hour. Is it down to 5 minutes now?
No, I'm pretty sure it's 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because you might have been using it in the car, and then you don't want to hand it to the policeman. So I'm pretty sure they made it 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
With that release that was only a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else I noticed, there was 2 really close releases of iOS 12.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
A few days apart. Now, I was having some issues with HomeKit.
Yep.
Like I've got a thing that just turns on the lights at sunset. It turns on 2 lights at sunset in my house. That wasn't happening. That's now happening again automatically. And also, when I was looking at Bluetooth devices, it had come up with a MAC address instead of the name of the device, and that appears to have gone away as well in that's really second quick update. Yeah. So we are on a beta, so there is no complaining.
No.
Right? I'm just saying that these were things that were happening to me, and they appear to have been resolved.
Well, I've only had a few little issues as well with the beta, and so I reported one issue. The other one I really didn't worry about because it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
And when I reported, as soon as I reported it, the next update came and it was gone. They fixed it. So
yeah. So
it's been a pretty smooth beta.
It really has. It's been really good.
Well, it's just sort of been. This beta's been smoother than the last official releases.
Yeah, that's true, right?
So we're very proud of you, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen out at Apple, thank you.
Absolutely. The betas are great.
And like I said, we can't wait for Siri shortcuts, can we?
We need it.
And look, I want to see what Siri shortcuts will do on the HomePod.
Oh, yeah?
Because, they'll be accessible from there.
Yeah.
So things like Overcast, any of those sort of audio apps that currently can't really use with the HomePod could actually be made somewhat, at least, somewhat accessible, somewhat usable from HomePod.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what we can do with like HomeKit. All those extra little things you should be able to do with HomeKit too. I bought some new switches today to try out. They're being delivered in about a week, I think, that are HomeKit compatible. So we'll see how we go with that. I'm a firm believer at the moment that if we can try and put switches in instead of globes, because the globes don't work if the switch is turned off. And if you've got a mixed family who, that's where it boils down to. It's trying to keep everyone happy. So if we can go the switches, be interesting to see what happens. Looking forward to it.
Well, Mark, let us know how they go because, that has been a sticking point for me. Like, there's no way I'm going to convince everybody in the house to pull out their phone to turn on or off a light when there's a switch right there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I've got some. Yeah, you've got to have them taped over so people don't accidentally do it.
And so this is not going to happen. But the idea of actually swapping out a PowerPoint with a light switch with one that allows you still physical access to the power, just flick it on and off, but also gives you home.
Well, I think these were I think it was $40, and it's a 2-gang switch.
Yeah.
But it's a touch switch, so you just got to touch it.
Oh, excellent.
So because all the other 2-gang ones were like massive, and the cheapest ones are like $100 each. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm
Oh, I
waiting to
can't
see
wait.
what they're like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see that. If they're any good, I'll get some from my place too.
So really awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, gentlemen, got anything? Please give me some more information, because it's
It's
the
dead.
world's running dry because there haven't been any leaks.
No. So look, what I wanted now, this is something you've sort of done a little bit as we've gone through over the last couple of weeks. But what are you most looking forward to? Let's go with, like you said, September 12th.
Yeah.
Zarn, go first.
Me?
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I want lots of stuff. Actually, I've been talking.
One thing. You're only allowed one thing.
No, HomePod. I want a new phone.
Yeah.
Done. One thing.
Is there any particular thing that you believe is coming, or that you think you'd love to see in your new iPhone X2 or whatever it's going to be called? iPhone 10.
I don't know. No, I just want a new phone.
Not really. Just a new phone. Give me a new phone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll be happy with a new phone.
Look, it doesn't have to have too much more, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No.
And like we were saying the other day, you know, like with new releases so often and so readily available, there's not going to be a lot of different things, you know, but just a little thing like face recognition for me is excellent, because my kids touch my phone all the time because they're on YouTube or they're doing something, and because I have toddlers, they cover it with sugar.
Yeah.
You know, or they cover it with Wheat Bix, or they cover it with something. And so to have face recognition, so I can just open it and not have to wipe it. Well, I still wipe it down, but you know what I mean. I can just really open it and make a phone call, and not have to go and wash my phone before I do that. Would be great.
Yeah. But I personally, I'm looking forward to Siri shortcuts.
Yep.
And as I said, getting all the developers to what do they have to do? What's the word? Donate your activity. Yeah. Donate something. You know, and part of it, getting HomeKit to work, but also, just that's basically what I'm looking forward to. Siri shortcuts, because I think that's going to cut out a lot of the hassles, because each developer, we don't have to have every bit of hardware have a security chip in it now. Each developer is writing their own bit of stuff for their own bit of stuff. That's.
Once again, it'll come down to developers supporting it in a logical / useful way, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you, Garth, what are you?
For me,
primed.
New MacBook Air.
Yeah.
I want a MacBook Air that I actually want, because every portable Mac that I've seen lately from Apple, I haven't actually wanted it. I don't like the keyboard.
Yeah.
There's always been something about it that I really, it's just not been one that I want.
Yeah.
I want Apple to give me a laptop that I actually want.
Yep, fair enough. Speaking of laptops you actually want, have you guys seen the rose gold mini?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's good.
The rose gold MacBook. My sister-in-law's got a first generation MacBook in rose gold. Yeah.
I hadn't seen rose gold before. I only ever seen the chrome ones.
Actually,
because
it was gold. Yeah, gold or rose gold. One of those.
Yeah, it's rose gold, and I've only ever seen the chrome ones because we either work with or have at home or whatever. And then I was in JB a week ago, and I seen a rose gold one. I'm like, I don't care that's pink. I just want it.
And they're the same price.
Yeah.
Not like when the first one came out that was black, you had white, or $100 dearer, you could get a black one in plastic.
Yeah.
Oh, crikey, that's a while ago.
Yeah.
Those MacBooks, the black MacBook.
Yeah, $100 dearer.
Yeah, and there's a couple of them here laying around somewhere.
Yep.
It's like the collector's items.
Oh.
Anybody got an old cheese grater Mac lying about somewhere?
Yeah, downstairs. Why?
Oh, those things are supposed to be beautiful, and I don't think I've ever actually seen one.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Like, you know,
We've got
thinking,
almost. Michael's got almost one of everything. I'm pretty sure.
I'm wondering what you could actually do with one in terms of sort of ripping out the current insides, and I don't know. We might get a new MacBook Mini,
Yeah.
Mac Mini, that you could install in there and still have the same sort of, just for memory's sake or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have that form factor.
You could do that. You could put 4 or 5 Mac Minis in there and still get away.
Exactly right. There's your Skyposaurus as Leo used to have, all inside the case of a cheese grater Mac.
Yeah, I'm just doing a one stop working for someone, and they just need some data out of it. But all that's wrong is it's got a corrupt operating system. So maybe the drive started to fail on that one drive. So it's got the OS on it. So I'm just going to fix that in the morning.
Yep.
Take it back to them. Yeah. Good times like this.
Is that the same? You've had that one here before, haven't you?
No, it's a different one.
A different one. I've seen them here before. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But like I've got the small power book that used to go in like a VHS tape into the desktop system. So you have a small portable power book that you would then slide in, and this thing would go just like it was a VHS tape. And then you'd have a big keyboard and a mouse and all these external accessories that you could have with it.
That's awesome.
I've got a working one of those still. There's an eMac downstairs.
Yep.
There's one of the colourful iMacs downstairs.
Yeah.
Which colour?
Purple.
Purple one, that one? Yeah.
Got my old Mac with the bulb at the bottom and the screen. The white one downstairs that I've got. It's got the bulb at the bottom, comes up on the stem. Stems, you can move it around, and then it's got the the screen. Yeah.
The iMac,
Yeah, that still works as well. So
so there's plenty around.
Yeah.
That's why I get into trouble, of course. But so yes,
I've got a green one of the purple one downstairs. I've got a green one at Dad's house in the shed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, that's all we've got really this week. So
a bit of history and a bit of looking forward. There you go.
Yes, absolutely. Now, don't forget there's a show notes link each week on our show. When you upload the show, in the notes, there's a connection to Aussie Mac Zone / this week's show note that you can click on and go to and get what I've just read out. If you're not sure, with all the links in it, for each of the stories got a link. You can search for us on Spotify. Just look up Aussie Mac Zone. You can look up on Apple News Aussie Mac Zone, and pardon me. We've also got, won't be long, and we'll be on Alexa. I believe that we've been approved for that as well. I did Aussie Tech Kids first because they figured there are more Alexa people listening. But we'll be on there. Now, thanks to our sponsors this week, athwebhosting.com.au and aussietechradio.com. And more importantly, you, our listeners. They're our major supporter. Thank you very much. Please keep listening. Thank you, everybody. All those people who are turning up on Facebook.
Yeah,
fantastic. Thanks. Always come in, say hello. That's we love that.
We do.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The support is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Garth, thank you for being here again tonight. That was great.
All right, fellas, thank you.
And I'm going to put something on you because you said you were going to try and create a new intro.
Oh, crikey, I did too, didn't I?
I know, and you've tried to forget, and then I just thought I'd put it right on you.
Who made our last intro?
Glenn and one of the guys from Aussie.
And where's the music from?
No idea.
No.
All right, give me this. What sort of music do you want?
I've got a mate that does some really nice sort of trancey dance stuff that it's also sort of 8-bit sounding.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, I can ask him to do us up a personal intro.
Of course.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Do that, and then we can give that to our super audio person, Garth.
I'll see what else I can find
All right.
as well.
And we'll go from there. We'll work out what
maybe
we're going to do.
we'll do a couple of different versions of it,
Yeah.
and people can vote on what they like the best.
All right. And,
Yeah,
and
that's a good
Garth,
idea.
And they might go, just give us the original one. We're used to that now. I don't want to change it. I don't like change.
and Garth, I'll send you a message with a couple of other ideas. I've got two that they're all 8-bit sort of
That sort of
gaming, sound, but people actually make music like that. So it's really cool. Also, remind how to favourite us, Michael.
Yeah. So just do a search for Aussie Mac Zone and then hit the heart button, and then you'll see us come up a lot more often in Apple News, for example. Yeah.
Cool.
Or go to they've subscribed to us. Whatever podcast app you're listening to us in, please subscribe to us, and that way we'll be there for you. Thank you very much, Garth. Thank you, Zarn.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Garth.
Good night.
Remember.
Here he comes. My glass is empty.
Remember, apple a day keeps the androids away. See you, everyone. Bye.